Well, hello. Further, I'm in that here. What do I care about where and how I record these videos? But anyways, that's week 5, and today we're talking about hedging. Well, oh yeah. Well, why are we talking about hedging after the fundamentals analysis, technical analysis, all the strategies, all the things? Well, still, just forgot about that one. Still, hedging is always there because, at least for me, the direct association between hedging would be the risk management, because to hedge basically means to kind of try to predict the opposite movement. But yeah, whatever. Why this topic? Well, honestly, in my internship company, everyone was kind of talking about hedging at some point. We had a treasury team who hedged currencies against one another, or like any other things, and I was like, yeah, okay, I understand what you're doing, but whatever. And also, I was considering that perhaps for my future career, because people say that money is good and all. So, but I never really directly like studied that. What are the strategies? What are the actual applications of that? So here we are, talking about hedging today. So this is a very like simple slide, but basically, so I already started explaining, but hedging basically means to invest or trade, doesn't matter, into something while predicting that it might move in the opposite direction that you think it will. So, for instance, I don't know, Euro and USD, they always kind of move in the opposite direction. When one weakens, other grows. And on these movements, you kind of would want to have some lower risk exposure in the end. And this is why you hedge. Like the very simple example from for investing would be, let's say, this like new AI company, you kind of, let's say, 80% sure that the stock will grow drastically in the next couple of months, but other 20% that you are not sure, you would want to hedge, and then you would invest in somewhere like stable, common, let's say, consumer stock, so that just in case you're wrong, you're not going to lose 100% of your money, but just 80 or whatever other percent you invested or how you diversified. And diversification is the next word, because some would say that diversifying the one's portfolio is also the hedging strategy, because you would want to balance the risk, and even though, yeah, you might lose some money on hedging, or let's better to put it, you might lose some profits while hedging, because risk and reward ratio like plays a huge role here. If you want to have a higher risk, then yeah, you don't hedge, and if you win, you win big. If you lose, well, you might need to sell your house now. But also, hedging heavily applied in trading. So the most like out of my mind would be the derivatives. So all the future contracts, all the call options, all the, I don't know, these things. These are basically, you can also hedge them. The very common example of how traders hedge would be the put option, it is called, yeah. So basically, in concept, puts give their holders a right, so not the obligation, to sell an asset at some before specified point or during it. So I guess it's simpler to understand, it's easier to understand via an example. Oh, Jesus, the rain is crazy, it's just pouring. Anyways, let's say Bob bought, I don't know, 100 stocks of whatever company, uh, 10 $10 each. And he also bought a put option for another 100 that he can always sell his stocks at $8. So now we have kind of two scenarios. First scenario favorable for Bob. The stock price will increase to 12. He will sell at 12, and while he would still need to pay this $100 for the put option, it still would, sum up to $100 of profit. So, uh, or whatever it was, yeah, I said 100 stocks, so 100 by 12, 1200 minus the initial investment of 1,000. Jesus, my brain is not working. Yeah, 100 buck he gets. But what if the price will actually go to zero? So if it's even possible, but his put option said that he can sell the stock at any time at $8. So basically, if the price will go to zero, he still can sell for an 800, and yeah, even though it will be minus 200 initial investment, because 800 minus 1,000 would be minus 200, then he would also have to pay for the put option, but still it is way better than if he would just not have any option. He would lose way more. So basically, yeah, the application is uh, when you just want to have a little bit less of the exposure to risk, you would use hedging. It can be costly, of course. It can be the cost of future profit, or sometimes because of the inflation or other more macroeconomics considerations. Hedging might cost you more, but on the other hand, yeah, what if your investment wasn't as good from the very beginning, and it might be better like to pay some extra pennies on your hedging strategy than to lose all the money. But it really does depend on the risk appetite or risk tolerance that one has and that one is willing to take. So, thank you very much for sticking with me, and see you next time.